What's up, guys? I think that we don't know if it's turning on or not, but it's lunch money time. Well, while she's trying to get rich, the rest of us just trying to get our lunch money right. That was weird, but welcome. I'm here with the beautiful and intelligent Polina Pompliano. I have no clue what she's wearing right now. She looks like she belongs in a zoo with this little lion. What is this, a cheetah pattern? Leopard? A leopard pattern? You have shoulder pads. You look like you're a football player.
I literally got shoulder pads in.
Is this where this is from?
That is the nanny. Fran Fine, if you remember, you know what I'm talking about.
She's got a big hairdo.
I'm bringing it back.
She's got a big hairdo.
Yeah, I tried. I couldn't get that. Also, guys, don't panic. I've seen the comments. I do not own all of these clothes. I do not own the shoulder pads. This is Rent the Runway. This is why I am able to
Why
bring the fun every day.
Why do they have shoulder pads?
I don't know.
That's the weirdest thing ever.
But I do look like a linebacker.
I feel, like you're going to run me over. Might sack me.
I don't even know what a linebacker is. I just know it's like a big dude.
Yeah,
right?
It is. It's on defense. They tackle people.
I tackle people.
Yeah, no, you don't. You get do you know what a Heisman is?
Woo!
No, just like a stiff arm.
Oh, yeah, like that.
Yeah, but why do you
I don't know.
There's no microphone.
Where does this
All right, what's going on? Wait, hold on a second. Time out. Before we talk about any topics, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi. BlockFi's got 3 products. You can buy and sell crypto. You can deposit crypto, and you can earn up to 8.6% APY in an interest-bearing account, or you can deposit crypto, and you can take out a US dollar loan against it. No brainer. I'm an investor in the business. I'm a user of the product. Bitcoin popping, get money, get paid. I don't know why she keeps doing this weird fake stiff arm, but go to blockfi.com/lunchmoney. All right, let's go into the stimulus package.
Okay, so the Republicans have formally unveiled the $1 trillion Senate GOP stimulus proposal, saying the American people need more help.
These people are all ridiculous.
So it's a roughly $1 trillion, which includes a $400 cut in enhanced unemployment benefits.
No, see, this is where the news is fake. CNN writing fake news. Here's what ends up happening is that the Democrats put forward a $3 trillion stimulus package. They had all kinds of crazy things in there. Basically, anyone who wanted to bail out gets a bailout. Anyone who wants to free money gets free money. And let's just throw it all to the wind and we'll just print it $3 trillion. The Republicans, known as the fiscally conservative folks, step in and they say, hey, we only want to print $1 trillion, which, newsflash, isn't fiscally conservative. But they want to only print $1 trillion. That includes, they're going to get rid of the $600 federally enhanced unemployment insurance, that extra $600 a week, get rid of it. That got stopped being paid this week. And instead, what they are going to do is they're going to move to a 70% replacement for your wages. So if you don't have a job now, you're on unemployment, they'll go back and look at what were you getting paid beforehand, and they'll calculate that, and you'll basically receive 70% of your wages, which is equivalent to up to a $500 a week federally enhanced unemployment insurance. They also have about $190 billion that's going to be in the PPP program, so more money for small businesses, low-cost loans that are potentially forgivable. There is about $15 billion that is going to go towards COVID testing. There's $25 billion that's getting handed out for vaccines and other therapeutics. There is, if I remember correctly, $100 billion that's going to go for education. 30 billion of that 100 is going to end up going for colleges and universities to restart schools. And no, I'm not. I just all off the top of my head because I read the internet. It's all up here. My favorite part of the entire package is there is a completely unrelated allocation of over $1 billion to rebuild the FBI's building in Washington, D.C. Why? Because Donald Trump owns a hotel in Washington, D.C., and supposedly there was a concern that the old FBI building that is being taken down could potentially give room for a new hotel and competition to come in. And so we got to make sure we rebuild the FBI's building. Oops. This is the crazy part of all of this is why is all of this nonsense in the package, right? There's also things like you can now write off business meals. There's tax credits. There's all kinds of stuff in these packages. But
is anybody reading these packages front to back?
Of course.
Who?
Like all of the interns. But
great.
You're telling me that there's literally people who are coming out right now and they're saying, and the Democrat side, they're saying, this is a bad starting position. We're not going to agree to this. And it's like, there's no way you read the hundreds of pages of the package. package, right? Now they probably are able to quickly pull out the key pieces. They have interns who kind of go through it, whatever. But it's just you get in this weird world where like the difference between printing 1 trillion and 3 trillion doesn't really matter in the sense of all of the billions of dollars that are stuffed in the various aspects and nooks and crannies of the economy. Everyone forgets, like, what are they going to do with $25 billion for vaccine development? And how about $15 billion for COVID testing? If you gave that money to the private sector, they would be incredibly efficient with it. When you give it to the government, they basically just light it on fire.
I don't know, but what I do know is if I ran for political office in this, I would immediately get elected.
No, you wouldn't.
Oh, yes, I would.
No.
Okay.
No, you know what they would do?
Next, no. JP Morgan virtual credit. JP Morgan Chase has partnered with fintech startup Marketa to launch virtual credit cards. So it says instead of receiving a plastic version of your credit card in the mail, JP Morgan Chase, what are you doing?
Come on, keep going. I'm trying not to distract you.
JP Morgan commercial card holders will be able to spend immediately in mobile wallets such as Apple Pay or Samsung Pay. Can't we already do that? But now we have to wait for the credit card to get here.
No. Remember when you signed up for the Apple card?
Yeah.
And Goldman Sachs is backing it, but you immediately could use the virtual card? Basically now JP Morgan's going to offer the same
that's dumb.
Well, didn't you like that?
Yeah, but I could have waited the 2 days for my card to get there.
Okay, but you didn't have to, and you thought it was cool. And so now JP Morgan's partnered with Marketa, or however you pronounce it, and they're going to do the same thing. They're going to offer to their customers a very similar experience.
Isn't this good news for something like Bitcoin?
Why?
Because you're not touching any cards, any money, anything.
No, this is credit, so it's different. Like it's not actually replacing money.
Shows you how much I know.
but also I think that at the end of the day, like all the stuff's going virtual. So virtual cards, right? You can swipe your phone, whatever. A lot of people, they forget like when you use credit, it's not money, it's credit, right? And so let's say Starbucks, for example, I don't know the exact numbers. My guess is that most people are using credit to buy at Starbucks, not actually using the dollar. Right, because they're basically using the credit and then they pay off the card later.
No, wait. Do you mean on your Starbucks card?
No, I'm just saying like just the transactions in general at Starbucks, because credit is so heavily used in the United States. So of course, having a virtual credit card makes a lot of sense. But again, we're so far behind Asia and other regions in the world with this stuff.
I know. We can't even, okay, so he sees me. I go to Dwayne Reed. I try to, do my Apple Pay with my phone, and then I have to take the mask off and then put the mask on. And then it can't recognize me with the mask on. Like, Apple, fix your shit.
Well, it's called facial recognition technology, and it uses 12 or more points on your face, and you're literally covering up some of the points of your face.
Well, that's their problem. They know we're wearing masks. Make it stop.
Would you like to have the security on your phone, or would you like anyone with a mask to be able to open your phone and spend your money?
They don't want my money.
All right. Okay. What's going on with the greatest restaurant in America?
I have sad news for you.
What? Revenue's down 30%? Oh, interesting. It's almost like I read the internet today.
Despite the progress at its U.S. restaurants, revenue is down 30%, and its U.S. same-store sales shrank just 2.3% in June.
Yeah. So basically, the fact that same-store sales in the United States shrank 2.3% in June means that most of the worst is behind McDonald's. Like, it's probably going to only get better from here. The fact that revenue only went down 30%, some people look at that as really bad. I actually think that's a pretty good number. Like, if you look at airlines, most of them went down 80, 90%. There was a shelter-in-place order, so we literally sent people home. Non-essential businesses couldn't be open, like all these issues, and they still only lost 30% of revenue. That's not bad. On top of that, if I remember correctly, I think that 80% of the revenue, or some very large number, was through drive-through only. So if you do Control F right now, or Command F, and type in drive in, then you probably can.
94%.
So outside the U.S., restaurant closures hampered sales, but 94% of the locations had reopened to partial operations by the end of the quarter. That doesn't tell us what we were looking for.
No, it does not.
But in some places like China and Brazil, same-store sales had fallen 32% in April, 20% in May, and 20% in June. So the U.S. is actually one of their best performing regions, if not the best. And really, it's just because did we go into a hard lockdown versus other countries? Not really. Like, people could still go out, people could still go and do things. And so the second quarter net loss, I think it was $480 million or something like that. Look, the best performing or the best restaurant in America, hanging in there, no problem. They're not going anywhere. They're going to still keep giving you exactly the food that you expect at every McDonald's for a great price in every city.
I
That's why they're
appreciate
great.
McDonald's. I had my like 6th birthday there. It was a great time. Okay.
All right. What's going on with the Mars car?
All right. So NASA has built a self-driving car for its next, look at this thing, for its next Mars mission. And
Why are they calling it a car? Don't they usually call it a rover?
I think it's a car. I should have read this article.
No, if you go right here, and it says how later this month, NASA is expected to launch its latest Mars rover, Perseverance, on a first of its kind mission to the Red Planet. Its job is to collect and store geological samples, yada, yada, whatever. It's significantly more autonomous than any of NASA's previous 4 rovers, and is designed to be what Philip Twa, a robotic systems engineer at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, calls a self-driving car on Mars. But here's my problem with this. 1, it's not a car. 2, they act as if every rover that they've ever sent isn't unmanned.
But this is cool because they're sending another rover.
No, but my point is that every time they've sent something to Mars, right, there's nobody in the car, right, or in the rover. It's unmanned.
I know. But
so it's remote controlled. They're claiming that this can make it like the software is going to actually make the driving decisions for itself.
We're moving closer and closer to being able to continuously drive and think. So yes.
This is classic. We want to seem cool, smart, shiny, sexy, and we're recruiting smart people to come work at NASA. There's no autonomous car on Mars.
I would rather the cool, shiny, smart people work at NASA versus somewhere else.
But why wouldn't they just go work at a private space company that is actually able to better allocate resources and get better results?
Because NASA needs some shiny, smart people too.
Yeah, that's fine. But I don't think that it's fair to call it an autonomous vehicle. Instead, what I think you can call it is you can call it a Mars rover and a technology enabled and kind of all kinds of stuff.
I think it'd be cool if we sent our Roomba up to Mars and it just like kind of went around.
So it says, somebody said the more complicated the system is, the more types of decisions it could make. Not shocking. Making sure you've covered every possible scenario that the rover might run into has been very challenging, but it's doing a lot of really hands-on tests like this that we find quirks in the algorithm. So they're trying to build autonomy into the vehicle. But remember, we don't even have autonomous vehicles in the United States driving on the highway yet. So the fact that we're going to try to send one to Mars.
Okay, but like Mars, there's kind of fewer obstacles than crazy cars and pedestrians.
No, I actually think that the autonomy problem on Mars is harder than the problem here.
Because we don't know what.
Well, 1, you're literally preparing for a place that humans have never been.
Right.
2 is it's not like you're just driving on a flat surface. 3 is you've got to actually worry about much, much worse obstacles, right? Mm-hmm. Remember, on a road, there's lines on the road, and therefore it's very easy for the car to understand, stay within the lines, and then you basically do object recognition. And so on a highway, the autonomy problem isn't that hard. Like Tesla's autopilot pretty much has cracked it. It's in these scenarios where it's complete open area that's very difficult.
Okay, that's fair. I still think it's easier.
All right, Jamie Foxx, what's up?
Jamie Foxx. Okay, apparently Jamie is like one of the few celebrities that doesn't have a Tesla, has never driven one before. So in a 13-minute video he recently posted to YouTube, he borrows a friend's Tesla Model 3 performance model for a test drive. And in it, he says, he goes from 0 to 60 and he says, "Holla at me, Elon."
So I got a great Jamie Foxx story.
What you got?
A lot of people don't know this story, but he went on the Tim Ferriss podcast a while ago.
Oh, wait, I sent you that.
Yes. And many people don't realize this, but Jamie Foxx was just an actor, right? And one day he's like, I want to get into music. So he built a studio at his place and he would throw these big parties. And then he would get somebody.
It's a great episode, guys.
He would get somebody who's in the music industry, like, yo, come back to the studio real quick. And they've been drinking and stuff. He'd be like, yo, just leave me a track. And he would have them record something, and then they would go away. And one of the people that he brought back there was Kanye West before Kanye had really blown up. Like no one knew who Kanye was.
He was this young kid in the corner by himself.
And so he brought Kanye back there. They recorded Kanye, and then Jamie Foxx recorded a song as well. And do you remember what the song was?
Oh, Is it the one in the strippers in the club?
Yeah, I forget the name of the song, but like the very first song that Kanye or that Jamie Foxx ever did exploded, and it was like a chart-topping hit. And then Marvin Gaye. Isn't that what it's called?
Gold Digger. It was Gold Digger.
Gold Digger. Yeah, so the Gold Digger song and I think Slow Jams maybe too. I think it was Slow Jams and Gold Digger. Were like two big hits right out of the gate, and then everyone was like, "Oh, wait a second, this Jamie Foxx guy is now a musician as well." So Jamie Foxx, he's ahead of the curve. He's ahead of the curve.
He talks about throwing these parties and having his grandmother who lived in his house there, and people are like, "Hey, Jamie, there's an elderly lady out in the front." He's like, "I know, that's my grandmother. Leave her alone."
leave her alone. She gonna get lit later. All right. Speaking of lit, what's up with DJ D Soul?
Oh my God, guys, this is my favorite story to come out of quarantine and 2020 overall.
Are we still considered in quarantine?
Yes.
Okay.
Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon DJ'd a concert in the Hamptons. The Winklevoss twins attended, and now the concert is under public health review after Cuomo tweeted a video from the concert where it's a lot of people packed together, and it says, Cuomo said, videos from a concert held in Southampton on Saturday show egregious social distancing violations. I am appalled. The Department of Health will conduct an investigation. We have no tolerance for the illegal and reckless endangerment of public health. And can I tell them my take?
Sure.
My take is I am absolutely here for this showdown between Cuomo and David Solomon because
the CEO of Goldman Sachs.
Yes, because Cuomo has been going after small business owners and going as far as arresting them.
No, he hasn't arrested anybody.
Yes, he has.
No, in New Jersey.
Oh, shoot. Okay, sorry. Never mind. Fake news. Cuomo has not arrested anybody. But he's been going after small business owners who have done less egregious things.
They're taking liquor licenses and all stuff. Here's a real hot take. What about the egregious and illegal endangerment of public health at the protest? What's the difference between a protest in the street and a concert? Everyone's packed in together.
I don't think
that's real facts. By the way, I'm pro protest, right? I'm also pro concert. So it's not hey, I don't think that there should be protest. I actually think there should be protests. I understand why people are pissed off. But also, if you're going to allow the protest, then you got to allow the concert.
Yeah, but the concert goers were without masks.
There's plenty of people out in the street in the protest that have no masks as well. And so the point is, this is classic political posturing. Andrew Cuomo should be arrested and put in jail for one specific thing. He got 10,000 plus people killed in the state of New York because he mandated the fact that they took people who are elderly and were with COVID and sent them back into the elderly care facilities. So you're talking about a guy who made decisions, who very directly and you can attribute his decision making to getting people killed, is arguing about a concert.
Back to this, I am very curious if Cuomo goes after the CEO of Goldman Sachs.
But that's not what he's trying to do, is it? Or is he trying to go after the concert goers? No. Like the concert organizers, or is he going after
of course the organizers? Who cares about who went?
No, I know, but he's just like a DJ there. He didn't organize the concert, did he?
Well, I don't know. By the way, the mayor of Southampton organized it.
Oh.
Jesse Warren was the MC.
What was it, a fundraiser?
I don't think so.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, look, at the end of the day, again, it just goes back to you can't start to pick and choose what's okay for crowds of people to collect outside. You can't say, oh, if you are protesting,
but I would argue
then it's
that
okay.
Protesting is your right. Going to a concert is not your right.
No, the freedom of assembly is your right in the United States.
Right, but does that include concert?
Again, what law are they breaking?
You're zigzag. You can't answer my question.
No, yeah, it is the freedom of assembly.
A concert is not in the Constitution. Going to a concert.
It is your freedom of assembly
to protest.
But you can also do it for other things as well.
All right, we're moving on.
It's like going to church. The freedom of assembly is protected as well.
Anyway, my point is we can't have our 50-person frickin' reception for our wedding, but this can happen. And second of all, do you think DJ Diesel would come DJ our wedding?
No.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because
he's very talented.
He's into Bitcoin.
Oh my God, did you see my joke?
No.
Oh my God, I think you did.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Guys.
All right, is this the joke time?
No, not yet.
You have 3 seconds.
I have something else to say.
That was the timer going off.
So, I read the profile, and on Wednesday, show them your shirt.
Oh yeah, I got the shirt on right now. Everyone should go subscribe to the profile. Readtheprofile.com.
Anyway.
Readtheprofile.com.
Okay.
Readtheprofile.com.
So my point is, on Wednesday tomorrow, I have the profile dossier coming out, and it's on an individual person. It's a deep dive. And this week it's on psychologist Paul Ekman, who came up with the micro expression of the face. And he's like a deception expert. And so yesterday what did we watch? Lie to Me. It's a show based on Ekman's research. What'd you like about it?
He basically can just ask questions and watch how you react to them, and it can tell if you're lying or not. It's absolutely nuts.
And for people who have really expressive faces, it's very hard for me to lie without people noticing.
And then what they do is then they show you people in history. So like Bill Clinton and others, where they like touch their face like this, like that's a thing of shame. Or they make a certain thing with their mouth or their face, and you can tell anger or lying or whatever it is. And so they're going through it in kind of scenarios in the show. And then they basically pull it back out and they show you, here's a bunch of examples of people having done this in the past that could have told you very early on that they were lying.
It's cool, right?
It's very cool. All right, what's your joke? Let's go.
Ready for my joke? What do you call a fake noodle?
A fake noodle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Impasta.
That one was all right. That was all right. I'm gonna start rating your jokes. That was like a B minus.
That was like a 9.
No, well, you can't use numbers in a letter scale.
8.
B minus.
8 would be a B. So.
I don't know what school you went to.
What? Out of 10.
But in the schools I went to,
it's like 100.
If you got an 80, that was a C. We were very tough graders where I came from.
Oh my gosh, so what did you get on your exams? A Z?
I got a lot of C's. That's how I know an 80 was a C.
A Z?
No, okay. 80. It was like 100 to 93 was an A, 92 to 85 was a B.
Wait, 92? What kind of school did you go to?
A tough one. We had education.
I don't believe you got C's. I believe you got Z's.
No, and then it was like 84 to like 78 or something was a C, and then 78 to 70 was a D, and then anything below 60, it's like 69 and below is an F.
Georgia's public school system wasn't like that. I took a biochemistry and an organic chemistry class in high school. Everybody dropped out. It was me and 4 other people left. We all got 30s on our final exam, and he curved it. So I ended up getting like a C or B in the class. Because my 34 suddenly was a 92.
This is the problem with nerds, right? This is the problem with nerds. If I was in that class, I'd have gotten the 30 and he'd be like, you got an F. I've never been in a class where they were like, hey man, we know that this was hard. So like, let us just boost you up a little bit.
Well,
that never happened.
Everybody else got 30, so we might as well.
Yeah, I also, what were the classes called?
Organic chemistry and biochemistry.
See, if I would have seen that on the paper, I'd be like, nah, switch. I got to go do gym class or film
Okay, and there were only like 5 people in the class, and the saddest part was nobody wanted to be my partner because I always messed up the experience. I would break something, I would shatter something.
Another tip for anybody who's still in school: the nerds all take classes with 5 people on it. I never took that. I always took the class with the most kids in it, so the teacher had the lowest possibility of figuring out that I was the idiot in the room.
Geez.
No problem. All right, that's it for lunch money today, guys. Have a great one. Bang bang. Wall Street's trying to get rich. The rest of us trying to get our lunch money right. Stay protected. They're printing lots of money.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account. Or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video.
annoy Polina in the comments, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.